folks, and thank you for joining Local 5's first 5 p.m. here on WFRV Plus, exclusively on our streaming app, WFRV Plus. Can't see this anywhere else, so if you're watching, thank you for downloading our app and everything. Some of you might be watching on the website, actually, which, hold on, let me try to get a little more into frame here. That works a little better. Now, I got some bad news. Blake Borths was supposed to be on the show. He bailed. It's not his fault. He has to be in early in the morning, and in order to not go over on hours and stuff like that for the week, they had to send him home. So, unfortunately, a solo show yet again. I don't know if it's because I said I'm on the outs here that they just don't give me people anymore, and they just don't want to hang out with me. I'm not really sure why, but no, I'm just kidding. It's all good. We'll be able to cover it from here. We got plenty to talk about. A lot going on in the news today. Some big updates from Neenah Middle School. But let's go ahead and first talk a little bit about sports. So if you guys remember yesterday, I had told you, excuse me, that I was attending the UWGB men's basketball game. That was a very fun time, let me tell you. Good to be back and meet up with some of the college friends. We had my buddy Josh Cam Griffin and his fiance Emily, and then Tyson and his girlfriend Jenna. We all got to sit in a row together. I got some good food. I didn't eat at work, so I got myself 2 bratwursts that were actually really, really good. I'm not sure what kind of brats the Chris Event Center is selling, but man, they were delicious. And I got myself a couple beers. Spilled one of them on accident, trying to put the other one down. Yeah. On me, guys. Party foul on me. But no, the game was good. Green Bay, they started out pretty hot. There was only one lead change in the game. They were dominating pretty much IPFW. This is a winner go home game pretty much. So whoever wins is moving on to the next round. Whoever loses, sayonara, your season's over. So it was a big game. The crowd was pretty into it. As were me and my friends. It was a good time. And Green Bay started out, they were down 2-0. They took the lead, and that was all she wrote. They kept the lead the rest of the game. First half looked very good. Finished the first half up 34-22. Nice little 12-point lead. Second half started a little slower. IPFW creeped their way back into the game. Ended up getting really tight right at the end there with about 2 minutes to go. I believe it was within 2 points. It was 54-52 after IPFW hit a huge 3-pointer to cut the lead from 5-2. But Green Bay, they ended up holding on, and it was a very good way to close out the season at the Crest Event Center. Now they'll be moving on to Indianapolis. Who they play is still undetermined. It all depends on how tonight's Horizon League matchups go between all the teams that we previewed yesterday. Green Bay and IPFW, the only 2 teams that had played yesterday against each other. Just looking at the stats here, 47% shooting for Green Bay, pretty good number. 40 for IPFW. They were 23 of 57, had 10 more shots than Green Bay. Now, the real story was the 3-pointers. Nobody could hit a 3-pointer to save their life yesterday. 28% for Green Bay at 5 of 18. 21% for IPFW, 5 of 24. Free throws were a different story. Green Bay was a lot more physical than IPFW. They ended up getting to the line 20 times compared to IPFW's 9. Green Bay shot 75%. That's 15 out of 20. And then IPFW 56%, only 5 of 9 from the line. So not a good look for the Mastodons. But anyways, the turnovers were pretty even, 8 and 7. Not a whole lot. But Green Bay did capitalize off those turnovers a little bit better. 14 points off the 8 turnovers compared to IPFW having 6 off of 7 turnovers. Don't make a joke. Points of the paint, 34 each. And like I said, the Green Bay led for 95% of the game. That was pretty much all she wrote. Now, looking at the box score for Green Bay, we had Marcus Hall. He was the leading scorer yesterday. The number 13 for the team, 19 points, 4 of 8 from 3, 7 of 13 from the field, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. He had himself a very nice game, very efficient. And then Justin Allen shot a little worse, 4 of 12. 0 for 4 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 2 big free throws at the end of the game as well. He ended up with 13 points. CJ O'Hara struggled, unfortunately, for the Phoenix, 7 points, 3 of 7, 3 turnovers that led the team. And then Preston Rudinger didn't have as much of a point scoring game, but really, really came up clutch with free throws at the end. 11 points, 2 of 3 from the field, 6 of 6 from the line, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, just really making his presence felt. Obviously, Preston Rudinger, a big fan favorite for the Phoenix. And then on the bench, got a couple good minutes out of Thomas. He ended up putting in 8 points, 3 of 4 shooting, 2 of 3 from the line, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. So, good game for the Phoenix. Now for IPFW, they ended up holding their leading scorer, Mr. Corey Hadnot II. He was averaging 20 points going into the game, something Doug Gottlieb had to emphasize to make sure you play defense on this guy. He's a very good scorer. 40 minutes played. That is I believe, yes, it is the game high for both teams. Marcus Hall played 39. Hadnot 40 minutes, 15 points, 6 of 16, 1 for 6 from 3, 2 of 5 from the free throw line. Little surprising there. But they were able to hold him under his average, and that was a big reason that the Phoenix were able to pull away late. D'Angelo Elisi from Jamaica. Pretty cool to see that. He was balling out. He was really efficient down low. 7 of 10, big man, 14 points for the night for Elisi. But yeah, Green Bay they're going to move on to either the semifinals or the second round, depending on how tonight shapes out. We have, let me just quickly pull it up. As we talked about yesterday, the number 1 seed, Wright State, they're playing Cleveland State. Spreads at 14.5. You should expect Wright State to move on. So you'd think that's 1 spot filled in the semifinals. Now, Robert Morris, Youngstown State, 3.5 point spread only. I had alluded that I believe there's going to be an upset here. We'll have to see what happens. Detroit Mercy, Milwaukee, that spreads at 1.5 for Detroit Mercy. That one can go really either way. And then Oakland and Northern Kentucky, also 1.5, could go either way. A couple upsets would be big for Green Bay. If you can get 2 teams to upset a team in the Horizon League, Green Bay will not have to play in that second round. They'll move on to the semifinals right away. But regardless, they're headed to Indianapolis. They're moving on. Doug Gottlieb was absolutely fired up with the fans and with the team after the game. A little small court storming from the fans there at the Crest Event Center was really cool to see, and Gottlieb was jumping around with them. I mean, just everybody always, right when the hire happened, I mean, I remember everybody's like, what are we doing? We're hiring a TV personality to be our head coach. Like, what are we doing? Doug Gottlieb's not a joke. I firmly believe this. I absolutely love the direction the team's going in. Green Bay wins their first Horizon League tournament game in a couple years here for sure. They got a solid squad, and Doug has been very committed to the team, and he loves the energy, he loves the fans, he loves everything about Green Bay, which is, you kind of didn't expect that right off the rip, knowing, he's a national TV personality. But he's done a really good job here so far and able to help turn, a team that had won 3 games a couple years ago and then lost a ton in his first year. In his second year, he's gotten them turned around in the right direction for sure. So big shout out to Doug Gottlieb. He's got the program moving along. And like I said, we'll have to see if they're in the second round or the semifinals. That'll all depend on the games. That happened tonight, 6 p.m. So we'll have more on that tomorrow. Now, the women's UW Green Bay women's basketball, they are set to play tonight at the Crest Event Center as well, hosting Detroit Mercy. Detroit Mercy 7-23 on the year, 4-16 in the Horizon League. Green Bay 22-8, 17-3 in the Horizon League. Skidded late in season play, but this one should be. I don't want to say don't overlook it, because obviously you don't want to see this kind of upset early on in the Horizon League, especially for Green Bay. But you would think they should be able to take care of business. They have the Horizon League Player of the Year in Jenna Geyer. They have the Horizon League Coach of the Year in Kayla Karius. Let's just say I think Green Bay's moving on. That will automatically put them in the semifinals, and then who they play will depend on the winner of that second round game. Like I said, Horizon League's a little goofy, so if none of that makes sense to you, don't worry. You can always check it out online. We have multiple things on our website as well that help explain it. So Good stuff from the Phoenix. Hopefully, more good stuff tonight. We're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break, though. When we come back, we'll get into the news of the day, and then we'll continue on with first 5 p.m. here on WFRV Plus. Be back in 60. Welcome back to your favorite show on WFRV Plus, first 5 p.m. here. Is it your favorite show? I sure hope so. There's plenty of stuff on WFRV Plus, not to just point my show out. Obviously, a lot of good content, but we all know what the best one is here. All right, all jokes aside, let's get into the news today. Big developments in Neenah. Now, obviously, if you saw last night on our website, there was Neenah Middle School students had gone virtual because of a potential threat toward the middle school. Local 5's Paul Stino was on scene all day. A student had been arrested in connection to the threats. Let's go ahead and learn more.
Police have made an arrest after a threat at Neenah Middle School that forced kids at this school to learn virtually today. Local 5's Paul Stino is live for us in Neenah with more. Paul.
Yeah, Daniel, at this hour, normally here at Neenah Middle School, this parking lot would likely still have cars in it. There'd be adults that would be picking up their kids for their after-school activities. But today was definitely not normal. The parking lot here completely empty as the kids had a virtual learning day after this threat to Neenah Middle School. That happened over the last couple days. Now, Neenah administrators did tell us that they received information about this threat against the middle school on Tuesday evening. Police say they began their investigation, and after many interviews with people at the school, they do have someone in custody, saying they will recommend this person receives felony charges for making terrorist threats. District administrators say that because the threats were specific to Neenah Middle School, they felt like they could safely have the rest of the schools in the district have an in-person school today. Neenah Middle School did virtual learning today, but will reopen tomorrow with some extra police officers on campus. Counselors will also be available to students who need them. Chief Aaron Olson of the Neenah Police Department also said there's been a lot of misinformation circulating on social media and said that in regards to people who have been critical about how the police department have handled this situation.
This is real-world policing, not television. Writing search warrants, executing search warrants, interviewing vast amounts of witnesses and suspects takes time. These things do not happen during a commercial break. They require careful and methodical work to ensure accuracy and safety.
And Daniel, the threats here at the middle school really have had a ripple effect across the district. I've spoken to several parents who have kids at other schools in the district who decided to have those kids stay home from school today because of worries about what had happened here at the middle school. Live from Neenah, Paul Stino, Local 5 News.
So, while the threats were falsified with no intent to harm students, officials are still seeking charges for terroristic threats, a felony. Chief Aaron Olson, you saw him just a little bit ago, he came out with a statement saying, "To our students, I want to be very clear. If you make threats towards other students, toward any school, or towards school staff, we will identify you and we will take action. These threats are not a joke, even if they were fabricated with no intent to harm anyone, and they will not be tolerated. This incident is a clear example of our team's dedication and the seriousness with which we approach school safety. To adults, there has been misinformation and speculation circulating on social media. I want to offer some perspective. This is real world policing, not television. This is all the stuff that you heard just a little bit ago. So we'll wrap that one up there. Yeah. So there's always it seems to be always some sort of, just depends on the school district, really. These threats, especially with social media, can happen more and more and more as the years go on. And I know back when I was in high school, there was definitely there was one or two threats when I was there, and it's just 95% of the time it ends up being nothing. But that other 5%, the police take the same initiative every single time, and they want to keep the kids safe. So yeah, it's kind of a weird situation there, but definitely one that we'll continue to monitor. We'll see if that student ends up getting charged with terroristic threats. All right, moving on. We have, let's see, we got Blake's story, but Blake's package doesn't run until the 6 o'clock show. So stay tuned for that one. Here we got, we'll switch over to a little bit more, not grim, but a little sad news here. Longtime grocery store in Howard, they are closing. Piggly Wiggly, yeah, Shop in the Pig. They shared on social media that they have made the difficult decision to shut down the Howard location. Now, the post, it did not include specific details about the reason for the closure. The store did say they will begin offering 10% off purchases starting today and encourage customers to shop while supplies last. An official closing date has not yet been announced. So, Piggly Wiggly shutting down in Howard. Another story here, Keith Kutzka. That name ring a bell? Well, if you were alive for the Mon File 6, that would make a lot of sense for you. Obviously, a huge story here in Green Bay. The final member of the so-called Mon File 6 to be released from prison. He has died at 74. According to his obituary, Kutzka died February 24th, 2026, while traveling in Arizona. He was released from prison in 2023 after serving nearly 30 years in connection with the 1992 death of Tom Monfiles. Kutzka and 5 coworkers were convicted in Brown County in 1995 of being party to Monfiles' murder at a Green Bay paper mill. Monfiles' body was discovered at the bottom of a pulp vat. Now, prosecutors argued the men had retaliated against Monfiles after he reported that Kutzka had stolen an extension cord. All 6 were sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole. Over time, Kutzka's co-defendants were released. Michael Piaskowski was released in 2001, Dale Baston in 2017, Michael Hearn in 2018, and Michael Johnson and Ray Moore in 2019. All 6 men have maintained their innocence throughout the case. All right, guys, moving on here. Let's go ahead and let's see. We got some here. You know what? Let's brighten up the mood a little bit. Those of you down in Oshkosh, get ready to start spring. A new spring tradition after a popular drive-in announced that it's officially back open for the season. Artie and Ed's Drive-In and announced, Artie and Ed's Drive-In. Hold on, let me try not to mess my words up there. Announced on Facebook on Wednesday, they are now open for the season. They said, bring the family, bring your friends, and start your spring tradition at Artie and Ed's. Artie and Ed's Drive-In has been open in Oshkosh since 1948. And has been giving fans a, quote, splash from the past, unquote, ever since. The drive-in has everything from roller skating car hops to mouth-watering burgers, root beers, and cheddar cheese nuggets, probably better known as cheese curds. Go ahead and head down to the Artie and Ed's Drive-In. I've never had it myself, but Tim Greenman here, who works here, it said, top-notch, absolute great food, great service, a great place to go. So I might have to check that out before we head out of the Fox Valley, or not the Fox Valley, but head out of the area per se. So Green Bay agencies, so the police, fire, EMS, they all were very busy today doing a large-scale mass casualty incident drill. This was at Amplify Health by Bellin's Green Bay Hospital. Over 44 first responders participated in the drill, which in this instance was designed as a practice response to an active shooter event. The patients in the drill were college students who came in through personal and emergency response vehicles, also looking the part. The mock patients were stretchered into various rooms while bandaged up with realistic but fake wounds across different body parts to showcase the harsh and terrifying reality of these responses. Organizers say this has been in the works for months, and it took a while because of the sheer number of responses an actual incident like this would require. Now, Caitlin Pielschek, an Amplify Health by Bellin clinical nurse educator, said we've been planning for months to do a high-level active shooter drill where the active shooter is off-site and it escalates into a mass casualty incident. The participating agencies in this event were Amplify Health by Bellin staff, Green Bay Metro Fire, Green Bay Police Department, along with Brown County Dispatch. All right, folks, you know what time it is. It's time to head to our final commercial break. When we come back, get a check of the weather from Ryan Kudish, and then we'll send you on your merry way. So stay tuned, guys. Be back in 60. Welcome back to Local 5's first 5 p.m. here on WFRV Plus. It was a gorgeous day outside. It's going to be a little cooler tomorrow, and we're tracking some rain and a few thunderstorms actually for Friday. But nobody wants to hear me talk about that. Let's go ahead and bring in the expert, Storm Team 5 meteorologist, Ryan Kudish.
Now, the area's most accurate forecast from Storm Team 5. Meteorologist Ryan Kudish.
Temperatures for a few of us today got really close to record highs. Now, we do cool down a little bit tomorrow, but it does stay above normal. That does open the door, though, for some rain chances later this week. Live look into Green Bay, where it's 52. We topped out at 55 earlier. Our record was 58, so just a few degrees below that. But either way, it was a beautiful afternoon. 52 currently, southeast wind at 7. There's some sunshine peeking through Appleton after we got a wave of clouds this afternoon. 54, south wind at 6. And then taking you over to the lakeshore with that easterly component to the wind. Yeah, it's cooling you down right now. 46 degrees in Manitowoc. Temperatures, though, running almost 20 degrees on top of our seasonal average, which right now is 35 degrees. A spring-like tease to the air once again. You can see over the last few hours, clouds built in from southern Wisconsin. Certainly clouded us over for a few hours, but overall, it's really not a bad afternoon. Now, for the rest of today, plan on partly to eventually mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s now. Will cool off into the 30s for overnight and lows, and we could wake up to some patches of fog, maybe some haze in the sky once again, but overall should be a pretty quiet start to our Thursday. Temperatures in the upper 20s and lower 30s for tomorrow. So here's a look at those weather headlines. Cooler with more clouds tomorrow. We're actually looking at rain and some thunderstorms for Friday going into very early Saturday morning. And then once this system exits, the story will be very mild there to end the weekend and start next week. We didn't hit any records today for the most part. We have a chance to set some records again on Monday, so we'll see how that plays out. But we have a storm system passing to our south, noted by the stationary boundary. That's what's throwing the clouds at us. It might bring a chance for a very isolated shower in our southern counties tomorrow, but there's a storm system right behind it, and that will be the focus for some showers and thunderstorms on Friday. So for tomorrow, we cool down into the lower and mid 40s, maybe getting close to 50 out there into central Wisconsin. Mostly cloudy skies, mentioning of a stray shower. Do you need to bring the rain jacket tomorrow? No, maybe just a sweatshirt with a hood on it just in case. But Friday, I would definitely plan to see some rain showers and bring that rain jacket. Temperatures will range from the lower 40s to even the lower 50s for you for the Fox Valley, 52 in Appleton, 54 in Wautoma. Let's break down the rain chances. Here's tomorrow. Notice mostly cloudy skies. If we were to see a passing shower from that storm system, it would be really east of Lake Winnebago midday tomorrow, but obviously our best rain chance will be on Friday. Out the door on Friday morning, heading out to the morning bus stop or getting ready for work, we are dry. 7 o'clock, really not much happening out there. The rain will find us, though, for the late morning hours on Friday. 10 o'clock, rain showers impacting our western counties, and we'll see that band of precipitation move through during the late morning going into the afternoon. So for that afternoon bus stop, I would make sure the kids have that rain jacket. Now, for those that are heading out for any dinner plans on Friday, big one is Friday fish fries, of course. We're completely dry, but notice as we head towards 10, 11 o'clock in the evening, we have widespread showers and embedded thunderstorms moving through the area. This will clear during the overnight hours, so we should be dry to wake up Saturday morning. In terms of that severe potential, thankfully, we're not looking at any of that. Just a general thunderstorm risk here, but the best chance for any strong to possibly severe storms would be in our far southern parts of the state down towards Madison, Prairie du Chien area. But the main concern for us is the rainfall potential. We're looking at a half to an inch of rain, and our ground right now is still pretty frozen underneath, so that'll act as runoff. So we could certainly have some minor flooding. Make sure to check those sump pumps now. So for tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, haze and some patchy fog, temperatures in the upper 20s to around 30. Then for tomorrow, fairly cloudy skies, maybe some peaks of sunshine here and there. A stray shower can't be ruled out. Cooler but still mild. High temperatures in the low to mid 40s. 7-day temperature trend. Yes, we have to talk about rain and thunderstorms Friday. But then look at the weekend. We'll see falling temperatures on Saturday. Clouds over the sun, 49. 57 on Sunday. 64 for a high on Monday. Dan, that would break a record set this time last year. That beautiful record did not last.
Yeah, so it's going to be nice coming up, but a little bit of rain on the way. Can't complain about that for sure. Yeah, so make sure you get outside, maybe wear a nice little light jacket. For me, I don't even wear a jacket in that kind of weather. It's just straight up, hey, I got my jacket on me already. Don't worry about it. We're a big guy. It is what it is. So, all right, got 3 minutes left. Let's go ahead and run through one more story before we call it a day. Unfortunately, we have a cancellation in a popular event here in Green Bay. The Green Bay Police Department says it has to cancel one of its most popular events due to inventory concerns. Now, the annual City of Green Bay / Green Bay Police Department Bike and Surplus Auction is a community favorite, but it will not be happening this year. The release said, unfortunately, due to an additional review of available inventory, we are unable to move forward as planned. Last year's edition took place on May 31st at the Brown County Fairgrounds. It's always been a very, very highly popular and successful event. Unfortunately, it will not be going on this year. So anyone who was looking forward to that, gonna have to mark that off of your calendars. And then, so we'll just have to go from there. But that really, we got about a minute and a half left. Just want to say big shout out to my sister Mackenzie. She texted me today. She said the dogs were on her last nerve. I know it can't be easy taking care of 3 dogs on your own. But she's a trooper. She's very deep down. She always tells me, she's like, man, I love those dogs so much. They're so cute, and they're my babies. But it definitely it can get a lot frustrating, especially Mackenzie doesn't have the best temper in the world. Respectfully, sorry, Mackenzie. She's a little bit of a quick trigger when it comes to getting mad at things. So she's doing the best job that she can. Big shout out to her. So I'll be back home this weekend. I'll take care of the dog. Don't worry. The dogs, don't worry. So a couple more shout outs here. I know Blake said he was really hoping to shout out his dad for his dad's birthday. Just big shout out to Blake's dad. Hope everything goes well for your birthday. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself, and here's to another year of good health and family. So, all right, guys, unfortunately, that's all the time we got for today. We're going to go ahead and end this show here. It's been a good Wednesday for us, but next day, I guess. Tomorrow's episode, it's Thursday. We'll talk about more. We'll hopefully have a guest on. And we'll see you guys on Thursday.